business minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs, creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan.
And tonight, our guest is one amazing person in the property industry. Talk about real estate, talk about properties. This is somebody who has grown from zero to great miles. Remember, this is NICHODEMUS MUTUNGA, who is the CEO and founder of Trusted Developers Limited. And tonight he is here to tell us about his story, his journey. And from his story, we are going to get a lot of insights and inspiration to motivate you and all to inspire you to greater heights. Welcome, Mr. Mutunga, to our show, the CEO Show.
Thank you.
People have been looking forward to hear from you. Who is Mr. Mutunga?
There are many ways to describe me.
Yes.
First of all, I'm a business person, and I'm also a pastor, a trained pastor for that matter. I'm an alumni of Bible College, where I did my degree and my master's. I'm also a trained accountant, and I'm also trained in the hospitality industry. I began Trusted Developers Limited 2010, January 18th.
Okay.
We began as Trusted Investment, and then in 2015 we were fully registered as a limited company, and we have been in business for over 14 years now.
Okay.
And with a track record of 14 years.
Okay, before talking about now Trusted Developers, and also I understand that now you are a jack of many trades. Talk about hospitality, talk about even theology, and you are a pastor of that matter. But where did you grow? How was your childhood experience in a nutshell?
It was not very easy growing up. I grew up in Makueni. That's where I was born.
Okay.
I went to primary school, of course, without shoes. I went to Muka High School. It was not easy to go through school. By God's grace, I went through school. Then I was employed for some 10 years. You mentioned that before. Then after the 10 years, that's now when I joined business.
When you finished your high school, did you proceed to college or?
My story is a bit funny.
Yes.
When I finished high school, I got employed. Then I would go for classes in the evening. Yeah, I paid my school fees through college.
Now, when you talk about being employed after Form 4, which kind of job was this and how did you get this employment?
First of all, I was employed as a receptionist. Then I went ahead and trained as an accountant. Then I got promoted to a cashier. That
was now in Makueni?
No, in Nairobi.
So you moved from Makueni, you came to Nairobi?
Yes.
You had somebody who hosted you in Nairobi? Or?
Yeah, I had relatives in Nairobi who hosted me for some time.
Okay.
Yeah, before I got what I began doing.
Okay.
Yes.
That was being a receptionist?
Yes.
In what kind of business was that?
I worked in White Rose Dry Cleaners.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
As a receptionist?
As a receptionist. Then later on, I was promoted to a cashier.
So you paid your college fees. That is when you started doing your accounts?
Yeah, my accounts and hospitality management.
Okay.
Yes.
That was a CPA or ATC?
I did CPA up to Section 4. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I got a diploma in hospitality management.
Okay.
Yes.
What is it that pushed you to do accounts?
I had an uncle who was an accountant. It really inspired me. And throughout primary school, I liked business. In high school, I was doing accounts. And I really liked accounting.
Okay.
Yeah. It is my thing. I like it until today.
Okay.
Yes.
So you are this person of figures and
yes.
The uncle was here. That is the person who motivated you to do accounts.
Yes.
And then you worked, and now you're employed working in this dry clean, promoted to a cashier. Then you worked for how long as a
10
cashier?
Years.
Or for 10 years?
Yes.
How was the experience working for somebody as a young person?
It was a good place to begin. I was one person who was very, very focused. I wanted to do something with my life. I was very keen on getting, training here and there. And even apart from training as an accountant, I also trained on many other small seminars here and there.
Okay.
Yes.
Now you talked on something about hospitality.
Yes.
Now, what is the relationship between now hospitality here and here you're an accountant working in a dry clean? What is it that also made you to do hospitality?
Being in a dry cleaner is related to hospitality.
Okay.
You know, because there we would. I was in charge of clients. Talking to clients, issuing them with the receipts, receiving their money, and all that. So I thought it wise for me to train myself on hospitality so that I know how to handle my clients even much better. Yes.
Okay. Now, here in Eldoret, after 10 years in dry clean, what happened next?
Basically, I'm from a business background. My grandfather was a serious business person.
Okay.
And I really admired what he was doing. He had many shops. And the shops were very stocked. I would visit him and I would see how he's working and, making money. And he really motivated me. And I remember just after high school, I opened the first shop. Then after a while, I left the village. That was in the village. Then I left the village and came to Nairobi. Then fast things forward, I got employed. That dream died a little bit. Then along the way, I got now busy. Yeah, so for some time, the dream kind of died. Yes.
Now you had this vision probably from the motivation of your grandfather.
Yes.
You had this vision to start your own business.
Yes.
And you wanted to do something that is different.
Yes.
At what point now did you resign from working at the dry clean? And now, at that point, did you just directly venture into your own business? Or how was the transition?
A year, that was in 2008. 2007, I got married.
Okay.
In 2008, between 2007 and 8, I would do some side business here and there. What I used to do, I spotted some huge men in this town who would not get suits easily.
Okay.
So I would source for suits from somewhere, make sure that I have the suits, sizes 56, 58, and 60, and I would sell the suits to my clients in the dry cleaner for a profit.
Okay.
Then that went on for a while, and I said, I'm making money for myself. I can go out there and make money. Then I left.
So you saw an opportunity. Yes. So at some point you are in clothes industry at some point.
Yes.
You saw an opportunity in these big, let me call big men.
Yes.
That they had a challenge of getting suits.
Then when now I was selling the suits, people began asking me for land. I'm in the dry cleaner and they're asking me, I'm looking for some land. Do you have an idea where I can get land? I have some money I want to spend on land. Where do you think I can get land? I said, this is an opportunity.
From the inquiries?
Yes.
Okay.
This is an opportunity. Why don't I pursue this? Then I just left. I began a small business that time. And those clients who were making inquiries were my first clients.
Okay.
I contacted them. Now I'm selling land. And we have this, and we have that, and we have that. Of course, when you're beginning, you don't have something that you bought to sell. You're acting like an agent.
Broker.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how it began.
How was the first look in terms of now stepping it out? The only thing that you knew is I want to sell land. But who is it that gave you the how to do it?
There was one young person that time. I was slightly older than him. And he was of much help.
Okay.
His name is Lanya. He was already in the business, but he was employed by somebody. He was a person who would teach me how to do it. This is how you do search. When clients come, this is how you talk to them. When they ask for this is how you answer. And if they ask for this, you don't tell them this and all that. He did a lot of coaching for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and in a short period, I was able to catch up.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people always have a problem in terms of jumping out of employment and now venturing into business, like doing your own business and getting your own clients. But it seems that you didn't have that fear of leaving employment and now doing your own thing.
I didn't have, but what I would tell, especially the young people, if you are employed somewhere, give out your best. Work and work very well.
Okay.
I worked very well when I was in White Rose, and I made a lot of friends. Many of the clients became my friends. So it was easy for them to receive me when I came, when I began doing business. I had related with the clients so well. I would advise the young people, you know, most of the times people just work for a salary. You know, at the end of the month, they want to get a salary. But I would advise people, when you're working, just give out your best. Even the Bible says, if you are not faithful with which is somebody else, God will not give you your own. So if you are faithful with somebody's work, God will give you your own business. It works like that.
Okay.
Yes.
So from the honesty and being faithful in service for the 10 years in the dry clean, you attribute that could have helped you landing good deals.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay.
A lot. I see many young people that are proud, you know, and arrogant, and are not ready to, you know, to listen to the employers. You know, they're like, I'm doing what I can do, so give me my money. Let me go away. That is not the way it works. As long as you're there, give out your best. You know, you're being paid for your time, so give out your time. The people who come to work late, and they are the first people to leave the office, you know, before 5. You know, give out your best.
Okay.
If you're supposed to report at 8, be there at 8. You know, if you're supposed to leave at 5, make sure that you leave some minutes past 5.
Okay.
Be faithful where you're working, you know, and God will open doors for you.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Now, talk now about inception of Trusted Developers Limited. Now, did you register immediately after leaving that?
No, it was a journey. It was a journey.
Okay.
Because now I didn't have much. I didn't know how to begin. So I had to join with other people. We had some friends who we were working with. There was a company that used to be called Bestland Investment. So we were 4 of us. I was there for 1 year. Then,
As a partner?
yeah. Then I left. I left in 2010, January. That's when now I began Trusted Developers.
Okay.
We began as Trustland Investment.
Okay.
Many people know as Trustland Investment.
Okay.
Yes.
Why Trustland? Why Trustland as the name?
Now, that name is symbolic because I had seen many people had complained to me how they had been swindled in this city. They had lost money in fake news and all that. And I said, I want to correct this. I want to make sure that I sell genuine land to people, and I'll make sure that I give people genuine title deeds. And we have a track record of 14 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when you talk about land, Mr. Mutunga, this is a very emotive issue, and a lot of people are so attached to land. And you can never miss a lot of stories when you talk about people being swindled. Before even getting to Trustland, you are acting as a partner, and before even being a partner to Bestland, you are just, people call them brokers, people call them, you just get a commission. And sometimes there are a lot of young people who have been tainted negatively. In fact, like 1 month or 2 months ago, there was a story about somebody who was swindling people about land. Now, where did you draw the line as a young person, even before forming this company, to do what we call legit business?
You see, it's all about values, you know. If you want to succeed in business, in Trust and Developers Limited, we believe business is not just all about making money. It is, you know, being transparent, honest, and above all, honoring your commitments. If you have a sale agreement with a client, you bought land from them and you're supposed to pay in 3 months, before the end of 3 months, you have to make sure that you pay. That is what we do. If a client has come to you looking for land, you sold them land, make sure that you give them genuine land, and make sure that once payment is done, they get their title in the shortest time possible. Many years ago, when we were beginning, titles were something else. Nobody was getting titles. People were taking like 10 years before they get a title. And some of them, even from 2000 to, 1995, they have not gotten titles for Kimumu. You know, somewhere where you're supposed to take less than a month to get a title. Yeah. So I saw that weakness in our industry, and I said, I have to make a correction. And hence the name Trusted Developers Limited.
Okay.
People trust us. We do clean deals, and we make sure that you get genuine land and you get your title deed within the shortest time possible.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people now talking about Trusted Developers Limited. A lot of people, especially in this region and even across, do trust you for credibility and also honest business you've built over time. What are these values that you put in place, growing such a big business to where it is now?
Like I said, it's all about values.
Yeah.
And if you're honest, you're honest. If you're not honest, you're not honest. You know, you may pretend for a short period, but at the end of the day, people will know that we are not honest. You know, and above all, again, is a fear of God. I'm born again, and the God that I serve does not allow me to sin to people. You know, that conscience. You know, I can't work with that kind of conscience. I sold your land; it's not even there. I sold somebody else's land; is not there, and everybody suddenly they are looking for you. You know, you're in police station, you're in court, and all that. That is not the way to do business. Yeah. Okay.
Now, we talked about values and everything. Now, what are these look into that people consider? If you can just take us through I'm here, I want to buy a land. What are these nuggets that people need to know? Because a lot of people don't fail by not knowing what they need to know when they want to go about buying land.
Yeah, it is the responsibility of the buyer to do due diligence. And by due diligence, some, you know, if you are a layman, there are some technical things you may not understand. But if you approach a trusted land dealer, they can guide you through the process. And first of all, you need to locate the land. You know, you tell them what you want. They will take you to the place. You view it, you know, and don't even pay immediately. Go back at your own time. Go and look at the place again. Talk to the neighbors. You know, I want to buy this land. And do you know the owners? You know, in Eldoret it is easy. Nairobi, it's not easy to know the owner of the land. In Eldoret, you'll always know this land belongs to so and so. So go there, talk to the neighbors, let them tell you who the owner of the land is. That one we call it ground search. You're doing ground search. Then from there, you ask for a copy of the title. You go to the Minister of Lands, and do land search. Then when you get the results, you compare what they told you and what you see on that piece of paper and what you add from the ground. With these three things, you cannot go wrong. But don't be in a hurry to buy land. Take your time. Yeah, take your time. People are swindled because they, deals that look very, very genuine are presented to them. Many times, people have come to me, they tell me, I have a very, very good deal here. Somebody had borrowed some money from Shylock, and the period expires tomorrow. And it is 4 in the evening today, and that whatever expires tomorrow. So this person is saying, in other words, you have to pay for the land today. You have not gone to the ground. You have not talked to the neighbors about that parcel of land, whether there is a land case, there are wrangles concerning that property and all that. You have not done a land search, but they're saying these people are in a hurry. Sometimes they'll tell you, somebody is in hospital and they want to pay the hospital bill. They're in a hurry. And this is a very, very good deal. This land will cost you 5 million in the market. And they're only asking for 2.5. Mutunga, this is a very good deal. Go ahead and pay it. That is a trap. Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Go to view the land. Take your time. Talk to the neighbors. Ask for a copy of title. Go to the Ministry of Lands. Do a land search. Then when you are satisfied with the results, you can engage a lawyer to do an agreement for you. The lawyer will also advise you. In this town, we don't make use of legal services. The advocate will advise you on what to do, whether it's a clean deal or not a clean deal. Let's make use of legal services.
Somebody might be asking, for example, a land search, and at what cost?
A land search will cost you about 1,000 shillings, and it's supposed to take a day or two.
Okay.
Yep.
And sometimes you find that there are some pieces of land that have caution.
That is why it is important to do a land search.
Okay.
When you do a land search, you know whether the land has encumbrances, whether the land has caution, whether it has restriction, whether it is charged with a bank and all that. There are many, many red flags for a client to look at. One, these people will put you under a lot of pressure.
Okay.
They'll tell you the owner is in a hurry to sell this land and they are selling at this price because they need the money. It's an urgent thing. So you hurry up. You're going to lose the deal. Number two, most of the times they will ask for cash. They will not want you to transfer the money to any account. They will not want you to do any electronic transfer. They want you to pay them cash, That's a red flag. When somebody says, I want cash, I'll run, I'll run. Number three, they will, again, most of them will not want you to go for land search. Yeah. And the others who are clever enough will fake documents. I had a case of somebody who wanted to sell off my land, and we arrested that person almost 10 years now. I had some land in annex touching the tarmac, and somebody was being conned 3 million. So he was clever enough. Before he went for the transaction, he said he is looking for some friends. They must be in the agreement. Then he wanted to know who exactly the land was registered in my name. He wanted to know exactly who Mutunga is. They had presented a fake Mutunga who was coming to sell the land with a fake ID.
Okay.
a fake ID.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy came. They went to an advocate to do the agreement, and of course they had said they wanted cash. And we were conducted. We conducted the police. So when they were now in the lawyer's office, of course the lawyer was aware. We called the police and they were arrested.
At what point did you know that my land is being sold?
It was a client who called me. He told me that there are people who are selling your land. Are you aware? I said, no, I'm not aware. Who are they? He said, there is a fake Mutunga in town. You need to see him. Mm-hmm. And I got interested. Mm-hmm. That's when now we went ahead and arrested 5 of them. There were 5 of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these cases are all over.
Okay.
And people need to be really, really careful. There are those conmen who are not very clever, who will not present a copy of title, but there are others who have fake title deeds and fake IDs and all that. Mm-hmm. So that's why I said you need to take time. And again, like I said, let's make use of legal services. The advocates are there. They're not very expensive. It's not expensive to approach an advocate, to do an agreement for you, and to tell him to do the search for you. They can do that. Mm-hmm. You can tell them to take their time, do the search, investigate. Just give them business. They're also in business. Yeah, and they'll make sure that you get the right thing.
Okay.
Yes.
Now talk about I've had issues to do. There's something that I would wish you also to mention. Talk about succession. We've had a lot of issues when it comes to succession. You find that you want to buy a land, but people will tell you that it is under succession, and it takes sometimes always to trust this kind of process. Something about succession. What happens?
You see, succession process usually is a process, mm-hmm. and it takes close to a year, so that is something that if you want to buy that land, you need to be patient, Mm-hmm. Sometimes they get into some disagreements, mm-hmm. and then go back to court again. Mm-hmm. So it's something that you really, really need to wait. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And don't buy land that is under succession. Just wait until the succession process is completed, then go ahead, do the search, find out now who are the beneficiaries, and now you can go ahead and buy the land.
Okay.
Yes.
Because sometimes you find that there are challenges. Sometimes the family will tell you that we've agreed that so and so is going to sell you this land. Then after 1 year later, a sister or somebody from nowhere just comes and says that I was not consulted. So you find that you get into another turmoil and circles and what have you. So succession is a very critical issue when it's come to land. Now, just to go ahead, now talk about growing a business empire and growing other than trust and the values that you've talked about inculcating. How do you, especially to somebody who wants to run this kind of a business, how is it managing property and, for that matter, this business?
I will talk generally on business. Mm-hmm. And one, business is hard work. Mm-hmm. It's not 8 to 5 thing. Mm-hmm. It is hard work. For many years, I would leave my office past 8. I'm there before 8, and I would leave my office past 8. So it takes a lot of labor. It takes a lot of hard work to grow business. Businesses don't grow on their own. Even farms don't grow on their own.
Mm-hmm.
You have to grow a farm. Only forests will, grow on their own. But for you to be successful in business, your input is required. You have to work very hard, mm-hmm. And of course, be honest. Do the right thing, And it is these small things that matter a lot, mm-hmm. Honesty, transparency, small things. Smiling to a client, talking to the client nicely and all that. So these small things, do them very well. Don't be arrogant to clients. No, you talk to them. You know they are your bosses. You talk to them nicely. It is very, very important.
Okay, now talk about finances and property. This is a business that you've grown for quite some time. What are some of the things that you deal with other than now land as a product? You in real estate, right? Okay. How did you start to talk about real estate?
First of all, I would want to say discipline is key, when you're growing in business. Many people will make money and spend the whole of it again, When we're beginning, we began small. And I remember our first parcel of land was half an acre. We subdivided into 4 pieces of land. And we sold the plots off, and we reinvested the whole amount back to the business. The whole amount back to the business. And that's, when you're beginning, there's a lot of sacrifice, to make. These are things that you must do. Don't spend everything that you make. I hear people say they want to fake it until they make it. It is a lie of the devil. I can assure you, it's a lie. Because you're telling people you are fake. There's nothing like faking it until you make it, because faking it will make you get into debts. You have to dress in a certain way, in a way you cannot afford. You have to drive a certain car. You have to live in a certain place. You have to eat in a certain restaurant where you cannot even afford. So you're spending what you don't have, And that is what kills business. Businesses are killed by the owners. Because now when you are supposed to invest in the business, you're busy spending, trying to please people who don't even like you.
So at the end of the day, you become a fake person.
Yeah.
Okay. What is your rule of finance? Because what is your rule of money?
Money, of course, money is current. It flows. And if you don't make friends with money, it will flow to somebody else. By making friends with money, I mean being disciplined. Don't buy a car because somebody bought that kind of car. I've never bought any car on credit. No. If I can't buy it cash, I can't afford it, so I don't buy it. Yeah, I only buy what I can afford. I've never bought any suit on credit. Never bought any sofas on credit. No. It's not necessary. Absolutely not necessary. I only spend what I can afford. I eat where I can pay, not where somebody else will have to pay for me. No. It is not necessary. It's a necessary burden. Spend what you can afford. In fact, spend less than you earn. Many people spend more than they earn.
Growing wealth as a person, because other than talking about debt, there are a lot of people who are not in debt, but they're in good business. But now multiplication of wealth and growing your wealth from a shilling to 1,000, to 100, from 100 to 1,000, without using debt financing and all that. How do you achieve growth in business? Because you talked something about reinvesting back in business, but now something else about growing and multiplication of wealth. There are some people who believe in diversity, that is investing in different projects. But yourself, for a very long time, you're known for land and trusted developers.
It is simple. You invest as much as you can. Don't spend all your money on luxuries. If you let me talk about simple things. If you can buy a cow that is not mature, give it time, lishe ya nyasi vizuri, After some time, it's grown, you sell it, you bought it at 20,000, you sell it at 70,000, you have grown your money, you know. But many people ignore, you know, small things. They want to invest in big things. You begin with the small things. Begin with where you are. If you have 20,000, invest at 20,000. Don't wait until you have 1,000,000 shillings so that you can invest. No, begin with where you are. Buy a sheep, keep it somewhere. You know, buy a cow, keep it somewhere. That is how to grow. You know, at the end of the day, you had one sheep. After 5 years, you have 50 sheep, you know, 10, 15 sheep. That is how you grow. You begin somewhere, you know. Many people just dream of investing big money. But now, before you get to the big money, begin with the small money. Buy what you can buy and make sure you're making an investment. Many of us spend on luxury.
As a young person who grew at some point going to school without shoes and now to who you are, if I can just ask, when did you first make your first million?
Not many years ago. I made my first million after I got into business. You know, and as an employee, it's not easy to make 1,000,000 shillings. You know, you save until you're not saving. Yeah. But it is important to develop a culture of saving. You know, even the much you're making, you're earning 20,000, make sure that you don't spend everything. Save 5,000, you know. If you're earning 50,000, make sure that you save 10. You know, after some time, you have grown some money. You can invest that money. Then make sure that you're making investments, and especially the young people, they still have a lot of time, you know. But they take that time for granted. You know, they say, I'll buy these things later. I still have time. You know, I'm young, so it's okay. I have time to run up and down. I can spend my money now. No, you don't have time. Time moves so fast. So invest as soon as you can, as soon as possible. As soon as you're making any money, make sure that you make an investment.
Okay. Now, looking back 10 years ago, or now you are close to a number of years, if you were to be taken 10 years back, what is it that you could have done differently?
I would have invested more if I was given the opportunity. Of course, all of us have made mistakes.
Yeah.
You know, we have lost opportunities. You know, you get a very good opportunity and you just let it just go like that. We have made mistakes. And therefore, I would advise people to be very keen, squeeze every drop out of every opportunity. Every opportunity that comes your way, make sure that you squeeze every drop.
Okay.
Don't lose any chance.
Okay.
That chance may not come again tomorrow.
Okay. Being futuristic now, 10 years after today, as you're speaking, 10 years later, what do we see in trusted developers or in Mr. Mutunga himself?
Talk about trusted developers. 10 years from now, we want to see the business grow into a big empire.
Okay.
Our dream is to make our clients happy. When our clients are happy, we are very, very happy. Anything that makes a client happy makes us happy, you know. The day that the client goes out smiling, that's the best day in our business.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember some years back, there was a client who had bought some parcels of land in this city, and even testified when we were celebrating our 14 years. He said for the first time he got a title deed when he got involved with us, and we have sold him several parcels of land. He testified. He's a bishop. He testified and he said, for many years I was buying land, and the first time I came to you, he was addressing me. The first time I came to you, I didn't tell you. I already had 3 court cases concerning properties that I had bought. And the first time I came to you, you gave me a title deed. And I came back again. So when our clients go out smiling, that's our best day in our business.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, so a good friend and also a viewer was asking, where is the future, or what is the future of properties in Uasin Gishu County and beyond? Where are we heading to?
Well, the future is promising. There are challenges in the economy, but the future is very, very promising. Ondoa to be a city on 10th August. Yeah. And after the town becomes a city, so many things will change. I would advise people, if you have money to invest in land, invest now. When the town becomes a city, so many, things will change. The prices will also go up. There will be a lot of changes, even as far as land issues are concerned. Yeah, so the future is good. I've been in this business for quite some time. And I remember many years now, about 15 years now, the first plots we were selling in Mailine were going for 360,000 for an eighth of an acre. Now the same place now, that plot is going for 2.5 million. 14 years later. Yeah. So land is not something that you can wait to buy. You buy and wait.
We are talking now to Pastor Mutunga. You ventured into theology, and now you are a pastor. How did you get to choose pastorate?
I didn't choose to be a pastor. The calling came calling,
Okay.
I didn't even know I was going to be a pastor. But my bishop, Bishop Paul Ruto, one day surprised me. I was a member of his church, and a few of us, we were selected, and he said, from today, I want you to be pastors, and we'll be consecrating you. And that was in 2012. Yeah. So the calling came looking for me. I didn't want to be a pastor. I've been a pastor since 2010.
Okay.
Lighthouse Tabernacle International Church.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're parting short to our viewers tonight who are looking forward to venture in what you're doing or to do other businesses, because this is a platform where we always provide an opportunity for our viewers to see how they can navigate in this time of business, or if somebody just has an idea, they can now get into action and implement and become business people in the near future, or even as soon as possible. What is the best advice that you can give to our viewers tonight when talk about business?
There are many things we can tell the young people and the people who are already in business. One of the things I would say is that as a young person, you must have a dream, and make sure that when you're dreaming, dream big. And don't stop it there. When you're through with your dream, work on your dream, investigate about the kind of dream we are talking about, research on it, know more about it, You can't be doing something that you don't even know. The clients are even correcting you. You must do, know it and know it very, very well. Number two, it's important for any person who wants to begin business to know that it is hard work. There is no room for lazy people in business. You don't make it. And once you're in business, make sure that you are honest. Do the right thing. If you promise a client something, make sure that it is done. Keep your word. I was talking to a car dealer the other day, and I was telling them, we agreed at a certain price in the morning. And I told the car dealer, prepare the car for me. I'll pick it later. When I'm coming back in the evening, and the guy has changed. I I was supposed to pay 100,000 more. I said, is this how you work? My friend, you are new in the market and you're working like this. You're not serious. If you mention a certain figure to a client, stick to it. It may not be a very good deal, but because you said it with your mouth, make sure that you stick to that. When you begin giving excuses and saying, you see, you have to add this because of that, the client will know that you are a con man. Honor your word. Keep your word. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Don't sell A and give the client B. In Nairobi, I'm told, they sell you land here, and when you're going to view the place and fence, you're taking a kilometer away. It's already a bad deal. If you have sold A to a client, give A to that client. Don't give them B. Don't give them C. Do the right thing. And number 3, let's look for mentors, in the field. Make sure that you are following somebody, Don't be, a man of your own. There are many things I've learned from those who have gone ahead of me. There are many things I'm learning from those who are ahead of us. And therefore, it's important for somebody, to follow a mentor who will show you the way. A mentor has a next door eye and a next door ear. They see what you don't see. They hear what you don't hear. So there is a lot you can learn from them. And they help you avoid a lot of mistakes. So let's learn from them. It's very, very important. And of course, if you're a business person, you employ people, make sure that you pay your employees. And employees don't pay it, they will not work well. Pay them and make sure that you pay them well. Treat your employees as internal customers. We have external customers and internal customers. Your employees are internal customers. Treat them and treat them well. They work for you very, very well.
Thank you. That is a very wonderful parting shot. Thank you, Mr. Mutunga, for coming through for tonight's show.
Yeah.
I know that our time was very limited, and also you mentioned that we need part B of this. So we'll also be looking forward to call you in the near future to have this conversation going. Thank you for having your time. Our great viewers, as you heard from our guest tonight, one thing I've learned is don't wait to buy land, but instead buy and wait. And one thing that has come clearly in tonight's show, that there is no room for lazy people in business. If you are lazy, don't venture into it. Ensure that you get your sleeves up and pull up your socks and work hard. There is no room for lazy people. Thank you so much, our guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, for tonight, we just have to bring it down. And I'm sure that there is a lot of nuggets that you've gotten from tonight's interview. Let's keep the conversation going. What is it that you've learned? Drop on the comments section so that we keep this conversation going. For tonight, it has been Mr. Mutunga, who is the CEO of Trusted Developers Limited. And until next week, we are going to have another amazing guest, same time, same place. And for tonight, I was your host, Dan. Let's meet next week.
Business Minds, pioneering and inspiring entrepreneurs. Creative talks, CEO insights, success stories, value markets, and financial education. This is the CEO Show. Hosted by Dan.